Okay, those of you that are just joining, welcome. We're just going to let the music play for a moment. Please do share your name and location and anything that you're desiring to release during this season as we welcome in other women. Hi, Terry. Letting go of the old that no longer serves you. Yes, yes. Welcome, everybody. Michelle from Australia. Sounds like you and Jenna know each other. Welcome. Hi, Tessa. Thanks for sharing. Wishing to let go of pathways and identities that no longer serve your growth and well-being. Yeah, hearing you, holding that with you. And for all of us, letting go of everything that no longer serves us. Hi, Shiva from Florida. Welcome. Hey, Angela. Releasing that which is holding you back, old pain and resentment. Welcome. Hi, Gabby. Looking to release old and negative patterns. Yes, yes. Hi, Erin in Texas. Releasing old patterns and stories. We've got a good and beautiful Elul theme of releasing old patterns. May that be so for all of us. And Rochelle, releasing anger and frustration and overwhelm that you're feeling right now in your life. Yes. Hi, Veronica. Releasing the pain. Oh, I got scrolled away from the pain of separation, divorce after 30 years of marriage. Yeah. Yeah, hearing that and holding that. Hi, Shanna or Shauna and Ellie, releasing attachment from anything that no longer serves. Hey, Allie, there you are, still crystallizing, but letting go of attachment to the way of being for your family that's so exhausting and not working. So you can let in more creativity and openness to figure out what actually supports you. Yes, it feels a bit odd, but actually want to let go, feeling like I want to do all the things that would be fulfilling for me. At this stage, you really can't. Oh, like releasing all the attachments. Yes, I hear you, of that which we can't even access right now, and the grief that comes with that. Thanks for sharing. Hi, Sharon. Welcome. Releasing unhelpful social media, social comparison habits. Welcome, welcome. Hearing you for all of us on that. Hi, Tatiana. Letting go of all that no longer serves you, making room for the new. Yes. Okay. Oh, one more. And then Kelsey, welcome. Colorado Springs, letting go of perfection and forgiving yourself. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. Jenna's just transitioning us from screen and music, and then we'll start with a blessing and a prayer. And depending on how your screen is, you might have to choose a view that shows you the whole shared screen, and you can find that on the top.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, welcome, everyone. If you have a candle, feel free to take it out. We'll light our candle to call in our presence and to say our opening prayer. If you don't have a candle, we can light for you. You can be a part of this ritual. So as we light, you can feel free to close your eyes and invite in the warmth of the flame. B'Shem Yehud Kudsha Brihu Ushina Techa. As I enter into this sacred practice, I set my intention to align with the flow of divine wisdom and presence. In the name of the unification of the Holy Blessed One and the Shekhinah, I open my heart to the oneness that underlies all things. With every breath together, we call in wholeness, healing, balance, honesty, beauty. And may this ceremony together under the new moon of Elul bring balance to the world, inner and outer, to the masculine and the feminine, to our flesh and our spirit. And may we come open-hearted and willing to do all the work and to receive all the blessings that are available to us. So let's take a deep inhale together. And on the exhale, we can set your candle somewhere. And at any point in the ceremony, if you feel overwhelmed by the screen or triggered by any content that comes up or need to turn back, you can look at your candle and just come back into presence.
Okay. Thank you, Jenna. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're really excited to have, right now, it looks like 29 women from all over the world, bringing in the new moon of Elul, this month of letting go and this month of preparing for transformation. And we just wanted to share a little bit at the beginning to give and set a framework and a foundation for what we're doing. So for those of you that don't know Jenna and I think many of you do, we have been now leading Rosh Chodesh New Moon Circles in Boulder for 2 years. It'll be 2 years this next month in Tishrei, which is really amazing. And it's been such a joy. And there's been a huge request to bring this to the wider world. So here it is. And we're really excited to be able to bring this work of moon medicine. And I think the things that we really want to share, and when we get to the end, we'll talk a lot more about what does it mean to really bring in each Hebrew month and celebrate each new moon and full moon and what that really looks like. But we really want to share this magic that happens that we didn't know that we were created when we brought together this medicine woman work with Kabbalistic mysticism. And it's been really fun and really interesting. And Jenna has been my teacher and I her student, and she has been my student and I her teacher as we weave this thing with leaning into the earth and the plants with all of the wisdom and the mysticism of Kabbalah. It's really been magic. And so what we're really calling that is moon medicine. And for those of you that have been doing this magical work, either with leaning into Kabbalah or leaning in to working with the moons or the medicine woman work, you know that when you lean in to these ways of being with the cycles and the seasons, they just start to work on you and transformation becomes really, really possible. So this is an embodied journey. This little container tonight for Elul is an embodied journey, and this longer container of going through the Kabbalistic months and seasons together with women. And I also just want to make a distinction that this is a bit different than the moon medicine journey. That will be a longer term journey because that will be this very intimate container of bringing the medicine from each of the Hebrew months to each individual woman. And right now we're building a beautiful circle, and some of us don't even know each other. And we'll be here and be available at the end to talk much more about that. So we just want to invite you to stay till the end. We have a beautiful ceremony planned for you and to guide you through this bringing in the new moon of Elul and what might be possible. But really, it's this feeling. Oh, can you see the steam of my tea? Bringing in the plants.
Mm.
It's this feeling of what does it actually feel like to let the medicine of the moon start working on you? And it's hard to describe it, which is why we're offering this little feeling and this little taster for those of you that have not been celebrating and observing this beautiful transformative journey through the Hebrew calendar. Um, Also, from that perspective, this is open to all backgrounds, all types of women, different levels of observance. And one of the things that I learned very first from Jenna when she came to Boulder and we started collaborating on our love of moon medicine was that Rosh Chodesh, ooh, I don't know if you can hear my candles, that Rosh Chodesh, or the celebration of the incoming new moon, is for all women in all of the world. And to me, that could not speak that couldn't speak more truly or clearly to my heart, because I so deeply believe that when we as women lean into the power of the cycles and the seasons and we let them work on us, we become um, available for transformation and healing and growth. And the beautiful thing about then bringing in the plants, like we'll be doing, is that also, just like the moon, the plants work on us and the earth works on us. So we have this really sweet um, opportunity to bring this together. And this is the little taster that we wanted to share with you of what that could feel like. Jenna, will you bring up the next slide? Thank you. So I'm just going to change my view here. Okay, so tonight, and for all that we're doing, we're remembering that the cycles of the woman, the seasons, and the moon guide us towards wholeness. When we reject it, we often feel like something's missing. The divine seeks connection through our embodied presence. So when we get embodied, which we will be doing all tonight, we'll be embodying this beautiful opportunity of bringing in the new moon of Elul. When we fully embody, we get to connect to the divine and it gets to be effortless. So we invite you to just literally lay down or sit down into that offering and feel that connection fall into your nervous system. This is like the blessing of working with the moon, and that we heal with rest, support, and community. So, women are not meant to be working with the moon alone. And when we can gather and we can reflect, and just like when I was reading in the chat, so many of the things that were spoken were similar, like feeling alone, feeling like it's all on you, feeling like there's so much pressure, not knowing how to move into transformation. When we do that together, we begin to heal, and that our inner being is wise and whole. So our inner being knows how to respond to moon medicine. Our inner being knows how to be in circles of women. Our inner being knows how to respond to wellness and plants. And then the last one is that the earth and her song help us return to our authentic selves. So many of these gifts we don't know in this current culture that we have access to. And sometimes, even if we know them, we don't think we have access, or it's hard to re-find our access. So, this offering tonight is bringing you back in to that which is already yours, connection with the divine, connection with the earth. And yeah, we welcome you, and we're just going to move into the ceremony and absolutely like let that possibility for connection soak in.
Thank you. Thank you, Mitten. What I love about the arc of this evening is, or anytime it's morning for some people here, I know. But for this arc, we're gonna begin by entering the portal of the Hebrew month of Elul. And whether you're new to this month or you've cycled through it many, many seasons, we'll find the energetic openings and invitations. And then Mitten will guide us through more seasonal attunement and we'll come into deeper embodiment work. So to make sure that we're all on the same page and we know what we're entering, I'm going to speak a little bit about this Hebrew month of Elul. And you don't have to be Jewish, you don't have to be religious, you don't have to have any imprint of this before, but it's the more we can attune to it, the more we can open to the possibility of entering our full selves this month. So after 2 really intense months of the Hebrew calendar, the last few months, Tammuz and Av in the summer, they were very harsh and intense. We're coming into a softer, more gentler, more tender month of Elul. And one of the symbols of this month that guide us is the rose. So we'll be doing some rose work with Mitten, but the rose symbolizes this tender compassion. We're in the days of compassion beginning today. And it's a time to really be quiet and receptive and available so we can really witness our life and what needs healing, what needs tending before the new year, the Jewish New Year, which is Rosh Hashanah. So right away, as we're learning about Elul, let's notice how we can invite compassion in through our breath and breathe spaciousness into our body. And if there's any tension in your body, right away, we're inviting the compassionate tenderness of Elul to enter us. Before the Babylonian exile, historically, these months had a different name. And the month of Elul used to be called Achris Shana in Hebrew, which means the final year, because it is the final month in the solar calendar before Tishrei, which is the first month. And this month, Achris Shana, is the time of conscious closings. Many of us enter beginnings with so much excitement, like a new project or a new relationship. We have all this vigor and enthusiasm, and inspiration strikes in beginnings. And we often lose that energy. But Elul and the name of Achar Shana means, can we stay with that intent through the course and close our project with as much intent as we began, right? A lot of us like prepping for a meal, but we don't like cleaning up after the meal. So this is about closing the door behind us with so much care and making sure that we didn't leave anything behind as this year comes to a close in the Hebrew calendar. There's a Hasidic story by Rabbi Eigel, who was a 19th century Hasidic leader that I love coming back to every Elul. He went to learn Torah for many, many years. And when he came back, his community asked him what he learned. And he said, out of all my years studying Torah in the depths with Kabbalah, with the mysticism, these are the 3 things that really stuck with me. 1, there is human and there are angels. 2, if human truly desires, she can rise above the angels. And 3, Bereshis bara Elohim, which are the first words of the Torah, mean God creates beginnings, but it's humans who creates endings. So Elul is this art of conscious endings, closing with honesty and looking at where we may have missed the mark, perhaps where we have held on too long to resentment, to anger, and noticing if we've overlooked something that perhaps needs more attention or loving awareness, kindness. And this work of looking back at the year with a lot of intent and curiosity is known as cheshbon hanefesh, the Hebrew word, which means soul accounting, literally searching the soul. So we take a flashlight on our year or a candlelight and we see where we grew, where we got stuck, what patterns that we held on to that maybe need release, what new patterns we cultivated. and celebrating also our achievements and our growth and our success. In this Heshbon HaNefesh, as we're doing this soul accounting, it is very natural that we begin to engage the muscle of forgiveness. And there's many historical reasons why Elul is so related to the time of forgiveness, but just naturally during this time, we see places that we are holding on that we need to soften, and places that we can empty the cup so we can refill it with new light. One of my teachers, Rachi Pinson, says Elul is filling up the cup so we can pour it out gently and be empty to begin a new year in Rosh Hashanah. And filling up that cup means being honest, having embodied presence, and being available to look at the hard things and notice what needs forgiveness in our life. And from a medical perspective, forgiveness has so many health and wellness benefits to our entire being. One of the words in Hebrew for forgiveness is mechila, which the root of mechila means mechol, circle, teaching us that forgiveness work is not linear, not at all. But we cycle again and again. Each time we release something a little deeper. Each time we let go of something and we return to it again and again. And forgiveness work is not easy because it's not one and done, but we cycle, and each time we come back into the circle of forgiveness. And it's hard to do that work alone. We also need to come into a circle of support, of woman, circles that allow us to feel safe so that the forgiveness work can happen, because it takes tenderness and compassion. There are 3 paths of forgiveness that right away you may notice one of these speak to you more. There's forgiving the self, forgiving others, and forgiving the divine or the universe. And what I mean by that is maybe life didn't unravel the way that you had hoped to, and you're holding a grudge, or you lost a loved one and your trust of the divine was blemished. So right away, you may notice one of these paths are more available to you right now: forgiving yourself, forgiving others, forgiving the divine. Pre-personal, personal, interpersonal. These are the places that we get to look at and see. And just pause for a moment and check in. What path feels exciting or ready or available? What area is calling for forgiveness right now? Another attribute of Elul, and this is the reason we're beginning moon medicine in Elul, is that it represents the perfect flow of circular time. It invites us into the sacred spiral of time, which is why we're beginning this journey of 6 months right here. About this month, Sefer Yetzirah and Kabbalah says the end is wedged in the beginning and the beginning is wedged in the end. Because on one hand, we're doing the Heshbon HaNefesh. We're looking back at the year, taking accountability, having those hard conversations, doing the forgiveness work, noticing where we missed the mark, what needs repair. So we're looking back at the year. We're also looking forward and preparing for the new year of Rosh Hashanah. And we're also present. And there's different rituals in Jewish custom to be more present, like saying Psalm 27, which is a very heart work poem that helps us be present, sounding the shofar. If you don't know what these things are, that's okay. There's all sorts of pathways into being present. And that's why the root of the word Elul is lul, which means spiral staircase, because Elul invites us into the spiral. And the last thing that I'll share for now about Elul before we come into meditation and invite these energies in is the acronym for Elul comes from this love poem, Song of Songs, which is a love poem between us and the divine. It's called Shir HaShirim. And the acronym is I am to my beloved and my beloved is to me. Ani ledodi vedodi li. Because Elul's inviting us to renew our relationship with the divine. All this work, it's not just because we're high and mighty people and we always want growth, but it's in order to invite the divine back in and to find this relationship through tenderness and through intimacy. If our relationship with the divine has gotten jaded and stuck over the year, this is the time to refresh it and renew it. We're like going on a date to renew our intimacy with God. Whether you believe in God or not, it's about coming into that relationship with the cosmic universe that's holding us. So the sages teach us these two aspects of the phrases represent two ways of the relationship. Ani ledodi, I am to my beloved, means that we show up, we send our prayers, we carve out space, and we're the ones that arouse the new relationship. In Kabbalah, this is known as Mayim Nukvin, which is feminine waters. It's the arousal from below, from us to the divine. We're ready. We're making the first move, so to speak. That's Ani ledodi. Vedodi li is my beloved is to me. This is when we get to be the receivers. We receive the life force. We accept the blessings. We take in the energy. And this comes after we've reached out. So Elul begins with us, Ani ledodi. And I love how it parallels the cycles of the moon, because we're here for moon medicine. Ani ledodi, I am to my beloved, is like the new moon filling towards fullness. We are growing into the relationship. And Vidodi li is the full moon emptying. So, and it's us allowing, surrendering, releasing. So every breath is a reminder of this beloved relationship. Ani ledodi, I am to my beloved is the exhale, because we're giving our life over, our breath. We're surrendering into the arms of our beloved. It's the exhale that we give. The dodi li is the inhale, and it's the time of our receiving fullness, allowing in, becoming more present while as we fill up. So we're going to bring that into the breath. And if you forget these words, you can totally erase them, ignore them, and just focus on every breath is an intimate exchange with the source of all life. So let us begin by closing the eyes. That was a lot of information. Take anything that felt good and anything excess, just let it fall away and come into your body and your feet. Really settling yourself into the chair. And just imagining the new moon above you, glowing a new light, a new energy. Maybe you can open your palms over your thighs as a gesture of receiving. And start to invite in the breaths, just naturally noticing where the pathway of the breath moves through your body. And then focusing on the exhalation. This exhalation being ani ledodi, I am to my beloved. On the exhale, see if you can give your life force towards the beloved, surrendering something, letting something go and spill over your cup. Ani Dodi, following that exhale all the way out. What can we give over back to the divine? And then the inhale invites in the Dodi Li, my beloved is to me. Fill up on the inhalation like you're inviting in new energy, new life force. And then you let it all go and surrender. So, following your own breath cycle here, you can visualize or think of the words Ani le do di on the exhale, the do di li on the inhale. I am to my beloved on the exhale. My beloved is to me on the inhale. Every breath is an intimate exchange with our Creator, renewing our divine relationship with self, with others, with the source of all life. And notice how the breath is so circular, just like the end is wedged in the beginning. The end of the exhale, our inhale naturally revives. So, this two-way relationship is fluid. As we give love out, we inhale, we receive the love right back. We circulate the relationship with our breath. And this phrase invites us to feel the full spectrum of human emotion, not on our own, but with the beloved, with the divine. We're allowed to feel the hurt, the grief, and maybe on the inhale, that comes up. And then we release it and let it go on the exhale. Perhaps there's anger, resentment. And there also may be feelings of joy and gratitude and love and light. But our breath is being renewed by the source of our breath, the source of all life. So we're not feeling it alone. We're offering it, we're releasing it, and we're renewing. So keeping this breath nice and fluid. Sense your body on the chair and your feet on the earth. Elul is the element of earth, according to Kabbalah. So, with our breath, let's imagine we get to lay down in a beautiful, spacious field. Our sages say in Elul, the divine is in the field, not in the throne, not in the castle, but in the field, enlivening the earth that holds us. So visualize yourself laying in this big, spacious field, spreading your arms and legs so wide, taking up more space to feel more, to notice more. And this field is friendly. The animals are kind and gentle. The breeze is soft on our skin. The temperature is just right. And we feel so safe to be big and allow what needs to arise to bubble up from below. And this is just the first stirrings of our forgiveness work. What in our body is calling our attention and our awareness. And we're not going in there just yet. Mitten will take us deeper in, but just notice those spaces in the body. And we'll take 3 deep breaths here. And imagine you're just sending your breath of love and awareness. And visualize yourself from the field, gently coming up to a seat, lifting yourself up, maybe bringing your hands on your heart. Feeling the divine in the fields, holding you. And just bowing towards the heart, thanking your body for showing you the beginning stirrings of what is calling our forgiveness. And as we gently open our eyes, we can come into a few minutes of journaling. We have about 7 minutes to really let these questions bubble up and out. And we're not looking for answers. Elul means in Aramaic searching. We're just searching what needs attention, not with judgment, but with breath, with heartbeat, with presence.
I knew it would end this way. 2 broken hearts on a rainy day. There isn't much left to say. We both know it's time for us to go our own ways. Surrender to this moment. There is no one to blame. There is no right or wrong here. Only lessons in love and pain. We did what we were meant to do. I was me and you were you. Finally ready to see this whole thing through. I'm sorry, I forgive you. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, I forgive you. Thank you, myself again. I'm sorry, I forgive you. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, I forgive you. Thank you, I love you. Love, it doesn't go away. It lives right below the fear and the pain.
Mm. Sarah Emmett is a beautiful singer-songwriter, and she's one of Jenna and Mai's favorite Elul. She's not singing for Elul, but we feel like she's singing for Elul, and has many songs that get right to, when you feel something go right into your soul around letting go. And we'll send that follow-up. So, just calling us back from journaling, and again, opening to whatever arose. This is the time to lean into curiosity and complexity, forgiveness. One of the things that I love about the Ho'oponopono blessing, which we're going to go deeper into and that Sarah Emmett was singing about, is there's so much complexity, and I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, right? To self, to other, to the world, to the divine. There's so much complexity. And in a few moments, we'll go into an embodied practice with working with Ho'oponopono for helping our body move into release and really letting go. And I just want to speak first to the things that both are so incredibly healing. As Jenna said, like, forgiveness has profound health benefits, well studied. It is incredibly important and known in all spiritual traditions that forgiveness heals. It heals us to forgive ourselves or the other or the divine. Forgiveness is not for the other. Forgiveness is for our own wholeness. And thank God, when we forgive, it actually does bring goodness to the other and goodness to the world. But first and foremost, forgiveness is a relationship between us and our heart, us and our nervous system. And whenever I think about going into a practice where I'm really asking the body to move into forgiveness, the first question is, am I even feeling safe to let go? Because our divine, miraculous body knows from the place of non-forgiveness that we're trying to protect ourselves from hurt. Our heart knows that when something really hurts, that sometimes it's hard to come back from that. And that is wisdom, right? We don't want to stay in something broken. And we also want to be boundaried and caring for ourselves and our heart and who we are as humans. And so when we move into this forgiveness practice, we're going to do so with boundaries, with intention. It doesn't mean, forgiveness never means condoning something that was wrong. It means I choose to no longer hold something that is imbalanced or unwell inside of me. And how do I go about bringing forgiveness in a way that also takes care of my heart and my nervous system? And when we move into the practice, we'll deepen into that. So you may know that my favorite boundary and heart remedy is the rose. And we invited anybody that had any rose medicine to bring it with you, but I'll just tell you that I have plenty for all of us. And I'll be bringing this kind of prayer of rose. And I've been putting on my favorite Costa Rican rose on into this circle. And just like prayer, we can just ask that the power of forgiveness with boundaries that Rose brings in with us encircle all of us. So if you do have rose medicine, this is a great time to put it on, to smell rose, to look at rose. And if you don't, Jenna and I are doing it for you, and it will get to you. There's also rose in my tea. So when we think of Rose in her most alluring, beautiful nature, we know that she is so strongly boundaried by her thorns, and that her incredible beauty, which is our forgiving self, is able to be fully expressed because she's safe. She has a boundary up. So let that medicine of this month, we're not asking ourselves to come in and toss away everything that we learned about what hurt. That would be ignoring or rejecting our wisdom. Just like the rose, we're saying, I'd love to come into my most alluring, well, beautiful self. And I have a boundary with things that might come towards me that could hurt me. So hold that intention. We'll start to let the rose soak in. The other thing that I'd like to say, we were listening to Sarah Emmett sing, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, is that many times I've taught Ho'oponopono, and there are usually parts of Ho'oponopono that create a trigger. That's perfect. We often feel the trigger in the medicine that we need the most. So if you're feeling anger towards other, and it's hard for you to say, please forgive me, absolutely. Let that pain move through you. The Ho'oponopono practice, the reason we continue to say it over and over is not because we're going to get somewhere different. It's because we're going to move the emotion through. And so I just invite you, when we go into this embodied practice, to stay with it and let yourself really verbalize and say these things out loud. And I'll guide you so that will make more sense. And any part that feels like a trigger is a place that there's some potent medicine. And we have all of Elul to work with this medicine. So this is just the new moon. And what's so beautiful about moon medicine is we take our time in the feminine. The masculine says, like, oh, we've got to do that work today. The feminine says, we have a whole month and a whole moon cycle, a whole cycle in the female body to process through this. And that is also our invitation. At the end, we'll give some practices for the month. There's no pressure. Notice what the medicine is as we do this practice. Just be curious in the feminine, no judgment, no shame, and we'll see what comes up for you. Okay, so just find yourself in comfort. You can stay seated, you can lay down. Most important, check in with your body feeling safe, feeling comfortable. Maybe there's a different position that might feel better for letting go. Remember, to let go, we've got to feel safe, we've got to feel nourished, we've got to feel held. And just start taking some big, deep, long breaths. And for those of you that have done this work with us before, you know that the invitation is to sigh on the exhale. And if you haven't, that's just your body's ability to go into a calm, restful nervous system. So when we breathe in, we'll just sigh on the exhale. And let the body start to relax. And you can just pick yourself right back up from that place that you were in the field, or really, rather, just stay laying in there, right? The divine, the creator, and Elul is in the field, which means in the feminine, not sitting far away in the palace or in the throne, but right here with you. And keep breathing. And if you have access to feeling like or seeing yourself surrounded by roses, let that just happen. This incredibly open yet protective remedy that heals the heart brings in the feminine essence, heals the yin, the part of us that's meant to slow down. And take a big breath into slowness. And just sigh in the exhale. Ah. And I'll just invite us to take a couple more breaths into slowness. We heal, we let go, and we forgive from a calm nervous system. So just creating safety in the body. And as you're breathing and letting go, if you start to feel like you want to protect yourself, just say, "Oh, good job, body. I totally understand." You could pat your chest. You could put both hands on your chest right now and just remind your heart that this letting go is through the lens of letting go with boundaries, open heart and boundaried. And you can just breathe that in. And remembering you're surrounded by roses. And if it helps to look right inside your chest and be reminded that the actual heart is surrounded by the pericardium, the heart protector. Our heart's not meant to just be tossed out. We're not meant to go into forgiveness without boundaries. We're meant to go into forgiveness surrounded by self-love and self-worth. And that translates to boundaries. So just take some big breaths into that. And for many of us in female bodies or in mothering bodies or bodies where we have partners or people that work for us, we might not feel like we get to have boundaries. I want you to just really press your hand into your chest. Let that potent rose wisdom soak in. Nature never lies to us, thank God. That potent wisdom of the heart and the pericardium. Our anatomy reminds us of the truth. We don't have to question it. And then keeping your hands over your heart. If they're not there, you can put them there now and continuing to breathe deeply. We're just going to go through several rounds of this Ho'oponopono blessing. I did a Ho'oponopono course many years ago, and then I was so blessed to learn Ho'oponopono through the lens of Elul with a wonderful teacher here in Boulder, Maury Yehudis. And Maury Yehudis Fishman teaches that this is the simplest way to go through the layers of practice we need to really let go and forgive. So I invite you to just let Ho'oponopono work on you and with you. Let the rose work on you and with you. And let this circle of women from around the world work on you and with you. You don't have to do anything but breathe and repeat after me. And it is important, if you feel like you have access, to speak this out loud. And we'll go slow. And we'll go through several times. I'm so sorry. Just repeat after me. I'm so sorry. Take a big breath in between. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you. And in those big breaths, go ahead and bring your attention to that which is the hardest to let go of right now. Maybe you're having to forgive your own body, maybe your partner, your mother, your children, the divine. Bring your attention there, and we're going to keep going. I'm so sorry. Repeating after me. I'm so sorry. Breathing in between. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Let your body start to release. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you. Keep breathing. do a little body scan before we go through our next part of the journey, because we're just going to deepen into the essence of this blessing, of this forgiveness portal. And you're going to repeat after me fully. I'm so sorry for any part that I played in this. I'm so sorry for any part that I played in this. Please forgive me for not knowing or not being true. Thank you so much for giving my soul access to what I needed to know. Thank you so much for giving my soul access to what I needed to know. I love you, human to human, or soul to soul, or human to divine. I love you, human to human, or soul to soul, or human to divine. And take a big breath. Move your body just a little bit. And just really connect to your heart, because this is between you and you now. And all forgiveness is ultimately between self and self. Knowing that within this forgiveness, this next round is liberation, is healing, is wholeness, is wellness, is peace. And I say this with so much empathy. Every year, I have so much to forgive myself for. So, from you to you, speaking clearly, holding your heart, I am so sorry. So sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for what I didn't know. Please forgive me for what I didn't know. Thank you. Thank you so much. One more big breath. And from you to you, connecting to your own soul, I love you. I love you. Take 3 big breaths here. Let your body feel updated. You don't have to do anything but breathe. Maybe let your curiosity start flowing through you. If it feels good, just let your body move a little bit. Maybe you wiggle, maybe you let go. I'm just bringing our candle here, bringing the candlelight, bringing the roses. We're just going to open to a few moments, really a few minutes, about 10 minutes of shares. And I want to just call us into this possibility of moving into this season, of letting go. It's just the beginning. It's still late summer. But as we move into the season of letting go and the season of forgiveness, and it's always so incredible that other traditions all around the world know that as we move towards the fall, as we see the trees release the leaves, it's time to let go. So the invitation around letting go and forgiveness is to just share anything that came up in the meditation, in the embodied practice, as it relates to the month of Elul, or letting go. And then, because moon medicine is a practice, if you have something that you're looking forward to working with this month, if you've been like holding and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to forgive, I'm ready to let go, it may be related to what you already shared, you can just unmute and let yourself come right up onto the screen, and we're listening.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thank
Welcome.
you for this session. I've been wanting to join you guys forever. I live really far, so I can't join you personally, not yet, at least. But this has been amazing. Um, I'm taking care of my granddaughter now, so I won't be able to stay on video for too long. I just, aside from saying thank you, I wanted to take this moment to like release all that guilt feeling that that I carry with me for things that I know that were out of my control. Everything is, already as it's supposed to be. There are no coincidence, and we tend to give ourselves so much grief for everything. And so, with this meditation, I feel like I've been forgiving myself for giving my body so much to do and not recognizing everything that I do get done. I complain, my hair, my, everything. There's always like a complaint. And instead of like recognizing that I got through that day, I got through those things, I managed to help many. I am like the glue that holds my family together. And I am so blessed beyond words. And I just don't recognize it on a daily basis, but I will work through the month of Elul and carry on from then on. And hopefully it will become a habit that I won't have to work on it, that it'll just be an instant thing. And I hope that everyone was able to get, the same feeling that we beat ourselves up for no reasons when we should be constantly applauding ourselves for even getting out of bed and getting things done. So thank you for that moment and
you.
for letting me share that.
Thank you, Tatiana Habiba. Thank you. And thank you for speaking to self-forgiveness and giving self-credit. And yes, blessing all of us to practice so that it becomes something that is embodied when we practice through the whole month, this opportunity in Elul, just like you said, then it becomes a knowing and it becomes something that we can just on a daily basis embody. So I just want to bless you for that. And thank you so much for your share. Their shares.
I'll say something.
Thank you. Hi, Jenny.
Right. So was the answer to the third question in the journaling. And I didn't write the question down, but I have my answer, and that's kind of what I want to share. And it's just that it's what does your heart require you to like let go and my heart requires me to not ever do anything anymore or allow myself to be put in situations that feel violating or like that I've been violated, because sometimes I don't feel like that I'm not, that I belong to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Jenny, thank you. I can feel your heart breaking towards opening. And I think that that is so true for so many of us and I'll speak even for myself, like I'm in that same journey. I think it's part of this cycle of the female body and this time of the year that we say, no, the boundary is not a punishment. The boundary is a love of self. And as we embody love of self, we embody so much love for others. And a boundary is love going both ways.
Yeah, because sometimes I definitely would feel that it wasn't okay, especially to children or your spouse or your family. Like you're not supposed to put up that boundary. But if you don't, if you're not strong enough, then they don't usually put up those boundaries. They don't put them up being like, oh, we need to put a boundary up here to like make sure we don't take too much from you. It's our like we need to do that.
We need to do.
It's not their responsibility to you, but it is our. I need to do it.
And we teach others with loving boundaries. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
I could share something if that's appropriate.
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of very much so connected to like what Jennifer is sharing as well, is that I think as women, we're really pressured to, when someone says sorry, I think that we are pressured a lot by society to say like, oh, it's okay. and then not in any way like alter anything or hold a boundary. We're just supposed to kind of like be magnanimous and gracious and like, I'm sure we all heard this growing up, nice, be nice. And what came up during this meditation with the roses and stuff like that is that with the thorns on the rose, it's like we can still be beautiful and soft and loving and nurturing, but not self-abandon. And by that I mean like by having those like compassionate boundaries. They don't have to be like electric fences. They can just be, it can be a gentle no of saying, you know, you can appreciate this about me, but you can't just grab hold and take. That was really, really powerful, kind of for me. And the meditation, how roses really do have and embody both, very similar to sort of hawthorn. And
Very
it
true.
reminded me of many, many years ago, before I sort of was reconnecting with my Judaism. I studied with this woman named Ilva Mara Radajewski. And one thing that she said was that boundaries are like a context that we set and step into so that we can arrive with integrity to kind of any situation. And kind of like I heard her voice kind of saying that sort of during the meditations, like forgiveness with that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to see you with your rose. It's like so beautiful. And just as you were talking, I could hear how that rose medicine really soaked in on like a knowing level. Like I can be in my feminine, beautiful state and still say, don't grab me. That's not okay with me. Or don't expect something from me that will hurt me because you're going to get a poke and it's not going to be okay. And what I love is we would never say Rose isn't divine and alluring and beautiful. We're like, wow, you're amazing, Rose. And that is the embodied feminine of like open-hearted, forgiving, and boundaried, and boundaried, and letting go and still boundaried, and letting go and still boundaried. Thanks for sharing. And thanks for sharing about your teacher. Okay, we have time for one more share. If anybody would like to share, we'd love to hear you.
Oh, go on.
Hi, Sharon.
Oh, hi. I noticed what came up for me was a curious question of how I can be so grateful for how things are right now, and yet why do I still get activated by historical disappointments?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And, you know, I think you are so speaking to us being human beings and the nervous system trying to tell you by that activation that you don't want that to happen again. And the nervous system is so wise. And it's like in Elul, I always question, how do I weave in my wisdom from what I learned that really hurt me so that I can set a boundary and also let go of the thing that is also hurting me, which is holding on to it. Like that is this nuance of Elul and Tishrei the next month. It's like, how do I weave in wisdom? Because I don't actually want to forget the thing that really hurt me. Because then I might be putting my nervous system back into a bad situation again. That's like being an enabler or all kinds of things. And that is confusing for us as humans. It's like the trauma state is this very brilliant state that says, please don't let that terrible thing happen to me again. So that activation is your wisdom waiting to be transformed. And when that comes in, we just go, wow, thank you, body. And, you know, I noticed, I was thinking in this Ho'oponopono, last year, Jenna and I were on an Elul walk, and I was like pretty mad about a couple of things. I had to work for 2 full months about it, and I was so activated. And what it really was that really hurt me, and I don't want to be hurt like that again. And that's why I was so activated. So I just want to honor your hurt and just bless you that you transform that into wisdom and letting go. Yeah. Thank you for your share. And there may be other shares, and I'll say Jenna and I are going to stay after when we start talking more about moon medicine and answering questions. I don't want to cut anybody off. I also want to honor the time for people that are on a time frame, but just know like it is so potent to be able to be heard. And we are so available for that. So if you were waiting to share, first of all, we want to hear you. And we're going to move towards the closing of the actual ceremony piece. And I'm going to read us a poem. And before I do, I just want to say thank you for being here. I feel, and I think I can speak for Jenna, that it's just such an honor to bring this amazing feminine ancient wisdom. And it's not ours, it's all of ours, right? It's not mine and Jenna's, it's all of ours. To be able to share it collectively feels like a blessing for these times. So I feel incredibly grateful, even for just these little moments, and incredibly grateful for continued healing with moon medicine moving forward through the next Hebrew months for those of you that deeply desire that. And for those of you that just joined here, thank you so much, and may it be such a blessing for you. And I'm going to end with this poem by Rosemary Latola Traumer. You can just close your eyes and let this soak in. Today, when the heart is small, tight knot, I do not try to untangle it. I don't tug on the strings in a desperate attempt to unravel it. I don't even wonder at how it got so snarled. Instead, I imagine cradling it, cupping it with my hands like something precious, something wounded, a bird with a broken wing. I cradle my heart like the frightened thing it is. I imagine all the other frightened hearts and imagine them all being held in love. I breathe and let myself be moved by the breathing as I open and soften, and nothing changes and everything changes. The heart is still a knot, the heart still a knot, remembers it knows how to love. It knows it is not alone. So just hands still in the heart, just take some big breaths. In this collective circle of hearts of women, you're not alone. If you feel like your heart is tied up in a knot, this is just the right season for that. And let yourself be in that deep feminine, remembering that your body always knows the season. It always knows the potency of each new moon and what the available medicine is, and how much the moon and the seasons and the plants have to offer us. And in that feminine wisdom, we can just lean back and receive, receive, receive. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for those parts, for joining us for those parts. Jenna's just gonna.
I know we got so many questions in the chat about the poem and the song, and stay tuned for a follow-up email because we'll also have some beautiful home practices to really take this heart medicine, the rose medicine, the Elul medicine into the whole month. So please look out for that. And you're also welcome to, if you have any follow-up questions, to email us. We're here to keep this healing going. And as Mitten said in the beginning of our session, this was really like a taster to what is to come for 6 months. And our vision for the cohort, which will be the next 6 months, is really intimate, really personalized. There'll be a lot more individual attention to each woman. And the way that we're flowing through the month is we'll have a 90-minute new moon ceremony activation with both of us for most of the months, which is a deep dive into the Hebrew months, Kabbalistic learning, embodiment, somatic experiences, more time for sharing and community building because it will be a smaller group. And then the full moon will also meet live for a full moon activation, which is going to be more of a group healing at the peak of the month's energy. And the full moon is a time of heightened energy for that specific pathway that we are working with. And we'll also be sending monthly home practices to bring it into your daily life. And you'll also be invited to all of our virtual seasonal ceremonies, and if you're in Boulder, local ceremonies, and also discounted one-on-one sessions with either Mitten or I. So here's a little moon medicine at a glance and where we're headed. This month was the taster about forgiveness, and that's what really opens us to the new moon of Tishrei, which is about transformation, radical renewal. There's many, many holidays in that month. There's so much potency. That will be our first full month as a cohort together. Heshvan is the quieter month after Tishrei, where we integrate, where we step into quietude, stillness, that we bring in the sense of smell. And then we'll move into Kislev, which is around the winter solstice, dreaming in miracles, bringing in the wisdom of fire and the flame, dream work. Tevet will be focusing on, it's very much a month of the body, of pleasure and anger and intense emotions and how to harness that. Shvat will be opening up to tree medicine, embodying the matriarchal tree of life, cultivating abundance, finding our roots. And Adar, activating our inner queen, and also coming into lightness, play, duality. And that will be the full 6 months, and you'll have the opportunity to continue with us further, but that will be the wrap up of that 6-month cohort. So we wanted to give you guys a special discount to join us. If you sign up in the next 3 days, then you will receive 15% off for this cohort, and the discount code is Elul. I know some of you here have already applied, and this does apply to you also. So if you've already applied to Moon Medicine and gotten in, then you can still use this code, and we're so happy to welcome you in. And our first ceremony is Rosh Hashanah prep. So it's really close to Rosh Hashanah, preparing our hearts for radical renewal. I will put this link in the chat if you want to look into what this cohort is about. We'd love to have you, and we're really praying for each woman that comes in as a holding to this sacred container, that we will be energetically holding you for 6 months. It's not just on the lives, but we'll have a community, WhatsApp, voice notes, support, and we'll journey together. So we're here for the next 10 or so minutes if you have any questions, if you're interested, and if you have to go, thank you for coming. Chodesh Tov, happy new moon.
Oh,
Hearts just drip with forgiveness. Bye.
thank you for those of you that joined. Anybody that has questions, feel free to stay. Chodesh Tov.
Chodesh Tov.
I have a question, guys. Do you know the dates already for each session?
Yes, they're all on the website. At the bottom, if you go to the FAQs and you go to the bottom FAQs, what are the ceremony dates and times? Also, all the sessions will be recorded, so if you can't make it live, we'll send it to you. And once you sign up, we'll invite you to all of them on your calendar, so it'll just be in your calendar already.
Yeah, I'll also say, and Allie, you know this, but I think it's so important, whenever we're scheduling around the moon, it's so inconvenient, which is exactly often how the moon feels. Like the new moon energy, you're just like, oh, it hits us so hard. So as Jenna and I were scheduling, it's like, you can't just say like the fourth Sunday because it doesn't work. And to me, that's part of what happens as the energy of the new moon or the full moon hits us, like sometimes it doesn't really, it doesn't work for us at that time. We're trying to schedule around it and all of those things. And it's part of the essence of moon medicine, which I think is really potent.
Mhm.
Are there questions?
Hi, this is a little bit, I guess, more of a logistical question. And I think it might be an email, so I should just recheck because there was correspondence. But for I'm so sorry, what was I saying? Like a payment plan, is that like through Venmo, PayPal? Is that an okay kind of vehicle to make that happen?
Yeah, so the payment plan goes through our online education platform. It's called Teachable. So that way it just sets it up and it takes care of it. And you can still use this code.
Oh,
So
amazing.
any way that we can receive payment, the code is relevant.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, thank you. And welcome. We're
Wish
excited to
to-
have you.
Thank you. See you all soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chodesh Tov.
Ishta. Other questions? Curiosity about moon medicine?
I have a question. My name is Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi. Um, do you envision this for women in a certain stage of life or across the lifespan? I'm just aware of feeling like I may be one of the older women on this call. So I'm interested to know about that.
It's a great question, Jenna. You want me to go first or you want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I love that question, Deborah, because the moon cycles are also about the cycles and seasons of life as we transform from one phase to the other. And it is always my greatest joy. Like when I teach large groups of women or small groups of women, when we have diversity from all seasons of life. I don't actually think that you'll feel, I'm not sure totally everybody who is already joining, but I do know that it's quite diverse. And I've noticed as I've been teaching these things now over the years, and I've changed my own female life cycle phase where I went in a time, where I was having children, and now I am way past that, that we will all be becoming the older person over time. And it's a real blessing, I think, to have all ages and seasons with us. So I can't speak to who is what ages yet, but I can tell you that it should and will be diverse. And that's really honored as part of our seasonality. And bringing different parts of self in. And Jenna and I are in different phases of life, and we always really honor that. She's got littles at home, and I'm in a different place. So, yeah, we could definitely talk more about that if you want to have a conversation with Jenna or I, but I love the seasonality of it.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we also encourage you to, if you have a friend or family member that you want to journey with you and transform together, that you bring them along into the container, and it would be so special.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a friend. Hannah.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
just want, I'll contribute and just so you know, for this one group, Deborah, I'm sure we're of the same generation. I'm almost 70. And and I'll just share this. I was first introduced to Rosh Chodesh groups in the early 70s. I was in my 20s, early 20s.
Wow.
I led them in my 30s. I've joined intermittently with different groups over the recent decades. And I'm returning to in-person facilitating a new moon group. I'm in a new geographic area that I haven't lived in before. So I sent letters out to, the 30 women I'd met of all backgrounds and ages, and 2 are joining. So we're starting as a group of 3. And I am so appreciative of the 2 of you guiding and gathering and facilitating. It's such a pleasure and very much needed and appreciated to be more receiving than there's receiving and the work that goes into leading and preparing is very rich, I know. But it was such a pleasure to just be able to sit back and be a full participant. I really thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
That's the power of the circle. The circle consciousness is that we're giving and receiving in the flow.
Yeah. And I wanted to say that little history for Deborah, really, because that I participated across decades, and there were always women of different generations. My little gathering of 3, we have mama of new babies, mama who's just in mid-menopause, and me heading, it's women.
It's women. And I really want to return to a place where like women are gathering, women of all ages are gathering. I think it's so incredibly important. And our in-person group here also has women of all ages, and it's just so rich. It changes everything, I think, to be able to be with people of all experiences in general. So thank you, Hannah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
There questions? Okay. Well, thank you again for joining us. Kodesh Tov, and
Kodesh Tov.
incredible Elul blessings to each of you. And you'll, as Jenna said, you'll receive a follow-up email from us and big invitation to just lean into those Elul practices and see how the moon medicine works on you, and lean all the way in. And we're here to answer questions by email if needed. And big, big blessings to each of you. Jenna, do you want to add anything else before we end?
Thank you for your presence, your participation, for being vulnerable, and for trusting us.
Amen. Amen.
I'm jumping in here because I really wanted to say this, and both of you, your level of languaging is exquisite. And I know it reflects your work and your being. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Big love. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Kodesh Tov.
Kodesh Tov.
Kodesh Tov.